Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I am live, and I wasn't live 5 seconds ago. No, I definitely was, I believe. It's all part of the fun here. It's Diablo. Welcome to the stream. I don't think I've. Oh no, I remember you. I remember you from like 4 or 5 stream ago. So this is a big one for me. It's my first actual new hardware stream ever on this channel, so it's very important for me that you let me know if the audio is alright, if the video quality is good, if basically however I go about it is pleasing to you. The internet might be a little slow today. I have no idea why. Seems like I'm dropping quite a lot of frames right now. But I cannot really help that, I don't think. Please bear with me, and as always you can check out the stream afterwards as a VOD, where I hope those problems are fixed through how data is aggregated afterwards. Before we get started, I want to give a big shout out and a big celebration sign, both 1 and 2 if it works. Yes, to two good friends of the family, Caroline and Evelyn, or Carolina and Evelina. I really wanted to shout them out. It's their birthday today. Happy birthday. I'm not gonna sing for you because my voice is terrible. Очень сильно поздравляю вас. Всем привет. I guess that happens once the channel gets decently big, then people actually become interested in being called out. Guys, can you still fully hear me? I still see on my microphone that red dot that I saw yesterday. Can you hear me? I'll just briefly... Yeah, it seems to work. I'm sorry for if you just heard me double. I am as always checking my stream also live on my iPad. Again, really sorry to bother you people. It just so happens that because of my internet problems here and because OBS had been sometimes working poorly, I have to make sure that everything works. Now this is fantastic, obviously. Unfortunately, I don't have the new iPhone. It's arriving somewhere between September 27th and October 3rd. I had hoped to maybe get some last minute notice yesterday that it was pushed forward. But this is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. So it might not be visually different from a regular Apple Watch Ultra. But then again, I never had an Apple Watch Ultra, and Tylosive Text Drew can go fuck himself with his mention that people shouldn't buy new Apple Watches and just buy used old ones. Sorry, this is fantastic. This will be more future-proof than the old Apple Watch Ultra. This will do the fun double tap thing, even if it's technically also possible on the old one. And it will have 3000 nits, so I don't care if for some people that's too bright. I'll just use the flashlight extra often then. Dream SMP also, hello to you, welcome to the stream. I'm really glad that we have now an actual audience that always tunes in. And before we get finally into the unboxing, guys, check out the subscriber count, 1.44k. We did it. We hit the 1000 and we far outpaced it. I think we actually did it like probably by yesterday's stream. YouTube seems to update my subscriber count like once a day very aggressively over the course of 2 hours, and then the subscriber count basically stands still. I have no idea if that's a universal experience that people have with YouTube, but yeah, I registered for AdSense, and what Google AdSense goes through, I'll be registering for monetization for the channel in general. Before that, I have created a new Patreon subscription tier for you guys, which is not $5 anymore, it's just $2. It's MarkTech Pro. or MarkTech Pro Max. Those are my subscription tiers in Patreon. If the channel ever gets big and successful enough, maybe I'll make a MarkTech Ultra. For now, the benefits obviously are the same across those. The benefits are you get to support me, and anybody who contacts me on Patreon is very likely to receive a response. Believe me, I will be incredibly gracious to anybody who supports me financially directly. Beyond that, as always, follow me on Twitter. I do love engaging with you guys there. If anybody is here who hasn't yet subscribed, though I do kind of expect it's Diablo and Dream SMP to have been subscribed, please subscribe, like, do all the YouTube jazz, as I call it. Dream SMP, the Apple Watch Ultra 2 kind of looks the same on the outside. Well, it looks exactly the same, and believe me, I'm not hiding that. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, we do have a nice white box. This is why I tried to make like the unboxing thumbnail completely white, kind of a little reference to that. We do have those beautiful handles. Now, I'm not showing you the box that it came in, which was really hard which was a really hard box. It was beautifully fucking packaged, really protective. Now this one actually doesn't feel as firm, but it actually feels incredibly well to the touch. Like, I know it comes from it being recycled, so it will not be quite as sturdy as you would traditionally expect sometimes, but I'm just briefly checking if there's any personal information here. No, it isn't, thank God. But I really like the feel of those more recycled boxes here. But if you can see here, it wobbles a little bit, so it isn't as quite tightly packaged as something like the iPhone. It's Diablo saying congrats on 1.44k subs. I remember you had like 145 exactly the last time I watched you. Yeah, I think that's about correct. Dream SMP, obviously I'm subscribed. I've been subscribed since you had 50 subs. We have an OG here, so an OG obviously gets a thumbs up from me, and the heart. And the heart, like you always get the hearts from me, and you have stolen my heart. So let's get with it here. Now obviously I will not be incredibly like good at doing this from this angle. I'm not very well media trained when it comes to unboxing, but it's actually really easy to open, right? Then you just do it, and then you have this, I believe it's probably the same background, right, as before. So that those mountainous paths, basically, the dark sky, it looks actually really nice. Feels nice too. We are not going into objectophilia today, but yeah, it is actually really nice packaging. I'll probably try to preserve it more than I haven't cared for packaging that much over the last couple of years. But this definitely seems... Oh, also, look, it just folds really nicely into its original shape. And then what we got is... Well, first, what we got here is me saying cheers. Also, again, to Carolina and Evelina. Cheers for your birthday. And I'm not drinking alcohol at 2 a.m., but it's still me congratulating. Whoever is joining us, I see more people in the chat. Please let me know if you enjoy basically it, what you would like for me to talk about. Now I am still wearing my Series 4, and right after this stream I will go to setting the Apple Watch Ultra up, because obviously my iPhone, which would be used to set it up, is now being used to capture it, but I will be comparing it to this soon. Now, before we get to the actual Apple Watch, we get to the Alpine loop with a titanium G-hook closure in blue. Is there a specific name to the color here, actually? Also, by the way, across Apple Watch and this specific loop, Alpine loop band, those are now carbon neutral products, which means that Apple is producing them with as much renewable energy and through enough recycled materials, and then they are going out of their way to pay for the expected energy usage that the device is expected to have through its lifetime. And the way they pay it, basically they invest in more renewable energy products, that it can now be called carbon neutral. It's that beautiful sign here. Always have to train where camera left and right is. It's so complicated. My grandma is here. Say hello to Rosa. She's a she is the ultimate OG. Dream SMP, by the way. Like, nobody is as OG as my grandma here. Dream SMP, when the Oculus Quest comes out, can you review it? Probably not. The problem is I would have to buy a ton of stuff, right, to even, like, compare it to my PSVR 2. Like, I've probably put, like, $300 into VR games on my PlayStation, so it's difficult, right? To then set up a new platform. Maybe if I get like hands-on from somebody, from some of my friends who have like a relatively large Steam library, I might try, but it will be hard to film. Maybe it would then just be a retrospective, but that would definitely wouldn't happen in like the first month or two of the Oculus existence. So let me pull that off. That does not feel, the more recycled Apple goes, the less tactile some of those things feel, which I'm fine with it. As I've said before, if they just all came in like a gray box, I would be perfectly fine. Speaking of gray, you can, by the way, see here, this is highly recycled material. This wouldn't feel good as like major packaging whatsoever. It's not that thin, right? But this is the Alpine loop. Oh wow, it feels really nice. Wow, I love it. I mean, I don't think it's worth $100 in comparison to like a leather thing or something, but I really like it. I'm glad it's included, because otherwise I probably wouldn't have tried it. Now, the blue in real life look is darker than what you right now are seeing on the screen. At least if what you see on the screen matches what I see through OBS. Apologize for the audio doubling. I'm always checking my stream to see if it works. It's actually like, oh yeah, it has like what I now know is called a G-hook, right? Which, I mean, kind of makes sense when you consider what it looks like. But then you just basically go in like this. Oh, it's actually pretty easy to open up. It's pretty stretchy. Wow, look, can you hear this? It actually has a very satisfying sound as you stretch it. Wow, I really like, I did not expect to like it as much. I wonder which side I should put it in, right? Like where it goes, like the upper part here, or this one? Oh, sheesh. So this would like enclose on the back, and then this would go backwards, I assume? Yeah, okay. So then I would probably put this at the top of the Apple Watch, this on the bottom, and this then goes into connects it. Okay. Now we do have like instructions here in the box. Guys, for the fact that I'm not media trained for unboxings, I think it's going rather well. So, oh yeah, they actually do have an instruction here, so for absolute morons like I am. And it seems like I was not correct. Okay, it's well, I mean, it would work from whatever direction you probably approach it, right? But it appears that they want like adjust band to attach band, slide in until you hear a click. To remove, press button and slide out. And then they have like different languages, and adjust band to fit close your wrist. Okay, so they don't really tell you that much here. So I think from here it's pretty easy for us to move on. We now have 8 people watching, which I guess speaks of the fact that I have a relatively decently sized like Indonesian audience, so that's pretty interesting. Now we do have what I consider unnecessary, like an explainer thing. Apple like literally sent me an email because they knew that the package arrived, with an explainer on how to use the Apple Watch. This, even though it's probably like using a lot of recycled materials, like, I mean, it's beautiful. I probably would put it somewhere, right? But it's just so unnecessary. Is it? I wonder if it's actually focusing on the Ultra 2 rather than the. It feels like it's very. It probably is just recycled from the prior year. And then we have this inside, which I don't know what it is. Oh, it's even more explainer stuff, but it's so interestingly packaged, such a premium thing here. I think the Apple Watch Ultra is probably your easiest way to experience some hyper premium packaging from Apple, because you don't have to go with something like a Pro Display XDR or a Mac Pro or something like that. But now we go into this. This is the main course of the event. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Now, it is obviously coming in that natural titanium finish. There was no black titanium. There was no blue titanium. Believe me, I don't care about PVD coating, like with it, that it might like scratch more because it's not anodized. I would have gotten it in blue or black in a heartbeat to match my iPhone, my upcoming iPhone 15 Pro Max. So this is quite insane. And as always, feel free to ask whatever you want to know in the stream, in the chat. I really appreciate talking with you guys as we go through things like this. That we have the same pull tabs here. Again, they feel less nice than they used to, but that comes from just all materials. Even the glue, I believe, has like changed a little over the years. So this is why I'm surprised that we get like this nice little booklet, because it feels like so antithetical to how Apple wants to package their products. And this is the moment of truth. Really need to capture this, and boom. Beautiful. I feel like Gordon Ramsay, like, oh, beautiful, whenever he unpacks something nice. Now let me first tease you by not going directly to the Apple Watch and actually going into something that is rather premium, and that is a braided Apple Watch charging puck cable. Now, unfortunately, the Apple Watch Ultra is still not compatible with regular Qi 2 or MagSafe charging, so you will have to rely on this. So if you're somebody who were like really happy about like the AirPods Pro supporting MagSafe, the fact that the iPhone has used, well, but the one advantage it has, like if you're in a pinch and you actually have like this cable with you, you can now put that USB-C into an iPhone 15 or 15 Pro and charge it at 4.5 watts, which is actually like pretty much what the Apple Watch charges it anyway. I have like the Apple's 20-watt European charger here, which I'll probably be putting it on right away so that I can set it up. And then I don't know if I'll go to the gym today, but probably tomorrow I'll definitely be testing it out. And while I will set it up for my 13 Pro Max, you definitely know that I will be like soon have to delete it again and then like put it on my iPhone 15 Pro Max. So let's just get this out here. It actually feels a little similar to how Apple packages their EarPods. Right, if you look very here closely, right, you can see that the paper is a little in the way, obviously, so they don't slide out. But because it's in the way on both sides, you can kind of have to like rip it out on one side and then slide it out on the other. While here you have to like, how would I go about it properly? Like lift this up? No. Wait, what? Do I have to like really rip it apart a little? Like feels like it, honestly. I mean, it doesn't hurt the cable, thankfully. It's a premium braided cable. And by the way, like massive shout out to, I know they've like shipped the braided cable also with the original Ultra, but I have found like I don't like any other braided cable as much as I do Apple's. Like, and I have used like cables from Anker, Aukey, and stuff like that. and they all age way worse. Now, the newest gen that I have from Anker has actually behaved pretty well. However, those are very thick cables because they're designed to be 3 meters long. So I wonder if that thickness positively impacts like their longevity. When it comes to thin cables, this is pretty much like, I'll just briefly lift it up, right? This is thinner, but not that much thinner than like the cable that charges my MacBook Pro with like MagSafe. So yeah, this feels really, really nice. Obviously, Apple has gone to like this being aluminum completely, which are really nice. Do they use plastic still on like the cheap ones? And this is really beneficial because in my family we now only have one Apple Watch charging puck, because my mom lost hers, so she's like, and she never like bothered to get a new one. She just always charges on mine. But this one will be now mine. If Facebook Marketplace was safe to shop on, would you buy stuff on there? From what I understand, Facebook Marketplace can be pretty safe. I've never bought something on there, but that's generally because I don't buy a lot on stuff like eBay or Facebook Marketplace. But I know that people have had some positive experiences with Facebook Marketplace. Obviously, might depend on your region though. So finally, nothing in here from the top, but we do have this. Cannot wait. Oh, it smells so good. Love the smell of titanium in the early afternoon. So this is how it looks. I'll just put the camera a little lower so that I don't accidentally forget to put myself here. By the way, say hello to my little Bella, who's as always sleeping in the background. So really, oh my god, I think I'm falling in love with natural titanium. Dream, you're in the UK. I think Facebook Marketplace is decent in the UK. I have no, like, obviously I cannot say anything from like my own experience, but oh, and you got scammed. Well, then I don't know if you should repeat the experience. It probably depends. I mean, you can get scammed pretty much anywhere. Like, this is the orange, by the way, before I fully unbox it. I'm not a big orange fan. I kinda dig it. I will later show you what band I am consider purchasing, and it would have like blue and orange. It would be like the Nike band with like a ton of perforations in it. But like, yeah, oh my god, it feels really heavy, like really, really premium. Okay, just let me rip it out. Okay. This is the Apple Watch Ultra 2. Now, you wouldn't be able to tell that because if you read on what says on the back, it just says Apple Watch Ultra. It does not say Ultra 2, doesn't it? It says GPS. Oh my god. Oh wow. Ooh, this is the first time I'm actually trying an Apple Watch Ultra digital crown. Now, I do not like the crown guard that much because it's not that useful for me personally, but my god, like the crown itself, because it's so large, oh, wow, it feels incredibly premium. Jesus, look how well it reflects the light here. The buttons, oh, this button feels nice too. It feels really hefty, by the way. Oh, here it's turning on. Guy, I'm like inceptioning myself, showing myself through the OBS stream. That's funny. It's actually like very, very reflective, by the way. So like, I know 3000 nits is like something that some people scoff at, but don't forget that 3000 nits is something that might really be necessary depending on your environment. Like, if you're going through the desert with this, with how reflective the screen is, it looks really, really good. Now, it already has a little dirt from where I touched it accidentally on the side. Now, you can see the natural titanium is obviously like a silverish look. Please, focus, 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 focus. Nope, don't focus on me, focus on it. Yes, now it does. Good. It looks so good. What happened with my camera? So I put on the FaceTime HD camera. Right now, I don't know why my iPhone does not want to work right now. Let me briefly remove it and see if I can actually add it back. Your capture device, iPhone 13 Pro Max camera. Nope, the iPhone does not want to work for some reason. Good that I always have like a decent like FaceTime camera in that regard. Obviously the quality is like way worse, but whatever, it is what we can kind of get. So obviously it's now going into pairing mode. You can see it also here, how it shows up. I do really like, well, the FaceTime HD camera has like less problems like zooming in, focusing in, but yeah, you can really see the orange is not bad by any means on the digital crown. And then on the action button, which I'm really looking forward to, like, by the way, this is what I kind of would have wanted to the action button to look like on the iPhone 15 Pro. I think that would have been kind of dope. Like, and I don't mean orange, but I really mean like this shape and size. Obviously maybe a little more pronounced so you can click it better. This is obviously still something that is very heavily optimized for like deep diving and shit. So let me put on the band for now. So I'll try it actually the way I kind of wanted to. I know it's technically not like the correct way in comparison to what Apple showed, but like this is how it looks, and then you just, it's actually like it does offer a decent amount of resistance as you like want to optimize it. So let me take off my Apple Watch Series 4 here and try putting this on. Yeah, I can actually see how it would work the other way around, but it looks good either way, I think. Actually, really interesting, like the adjustment is like quite firm, that it takes a little bit of power to do it, and then you hook it in, which I assume for me it would be around here. I obviously always get the large bands. I don't have small wrists by any means. Probably would have to hook it in a little further. This is how it looks. Oh yeah, that's actually, wow, it's smaller than I thought it might be. Now it is big. Like, guys, I'll just put on my Series 4 on like the maximum here. This is how they compare. There's no comparison. One is gigantic, the other is not. Let me also just briefly check if like... Okay, I really wanted to see if I could connect my iPhone again, because the camera quality difference is obviously quite high. Let me just put on the iPhone up again, and then later on we can try like setting up. Like the size difference, I mean, it is like this is 49 millimeters, obviously the Apple Watch Ultra. This is 44 millimeter. Let me move it up like a little. Yeah, this way. It's not such a big difference. Like, quite honestly, like for me, I've talked a lot about in my last stream about what I consider like functional differences. Not that substantial. Obviously, the bezels are extremely thin. Now, they are thicker here in comparison to something like a Series 7, Series 8, Series 9. And a part of that has to do, my hand gets tired from having both on. But you have to consider that you have a very thin bezel here, but you also have like the titanium rail protecting the actual screen. So that's really interesting. Say hello to our little guest here. She also wants to help me unpack the Apple Watch. Yeah, you can go. But no. She wants to eat like the new braided cable. No. That's a no-go. Yeah, this is basically how it looks, and I think it looks rather good. So let me just unhook this. Also, let me just briefly check if I can maybe connect again to my iPhone. Okay, now I can again. Okay, good, good, good. This is like Inception with so many me's here. But hey, at least I'm now pretty quick when it comes to OBS usage, right? So we don't experience too many problems. So this is the Apple Watch Ultra. I wanted to show it. I was obviously unclasping it already. So looks and feels definitely nice. Very, very premium. Very, very sturdy and hefty. And then on top of all that, it takes a little bit of effort to take off this band, not gonna lie though. Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense, given that those bands are designed to really stay sturdy. Now, obviously, the opening mechanism is still the same. This mechanism still works perfectly fine on my Apple Watch Series 4, right? But you can see that there has some like dirt and dust accumulated inside that I just cannot fully clean. So let me first take it out here, right? It still works well. So Apple's mechanism works incredibly well. Well, we have like reports of like pixels basically like with their thin like magnetic design dropping. Their bands, and then unclasp it here. It works supremely well. So the same goes here. So, and now I'll check how it looks with the leather band, which I know I would put in like this. I always put in the shorter end at the top. Ooh, it's completely seamless. Look at that! I should show it this way. Look at that, there's like no gap. Wow, it looks fantastic. Well, if Apple really introduces a new band mechanism, I really might not buy anything next year, because now I do have like 3 bands that I rather like, and I might get the 4th one. So I might really like rock this watch for a while. I guess I could like think of maybe 120 hertz might convince me or something like that. But look, like everything feels smooth and also extremely tactile. I don't know if you can hear it. As I move with the digital crown, it makes this very nice sound. And you can also see here basically where the displayed stuff ends. This is where the bezel begins. So it is a very thin bezel. It's really, really beautiful. And then the other leather part, let me pull that in. Oh, wow, like, wow! Yeah, that's awesome. Man, it is heavy though. I will have to get, like, almost like reacquainted with it. Like, imagine how much this kind of watch would weigh if it was made out of solid stainless steel. Also say hello to my little Bella. Here in the background, as always, going to sleep, doing nothing, not contributing to my channel. Be cute! Don't you know how much TikTok cats get in money? I actually have no idea. So let me put this on. Now I have not bought any fine woven cases, bands for my new Apple Watch. Not after my experience, and I do recommend you check out that video with the fine woven iPhone 15 Pro Max case. So let's put this on. It's actually focusing quite nicely. Oh, I do love that connection mechanism. This, in my eyes, is like the most innovative band ever made. I love it. Like, you can give this to a little kid and show them how it works, and they will spend literally hours with it. Like, you can also show them, of course, how you like turn on the Apple Watch and like close the screen. And my nieces had like literally, I think, days of fun with just playing around with my Apple Watches over the years. I actually am zero bothered by the orange anymore, even looking at the action button and stuff like that. I think it all comes together really nicely. Really, really surprised that it worked this way. Kind of didn't expect for it to feel this nice. want to set it up in English. I'm not coming from China mainland. Maybe that has something to do with it. Like scrolls incredibly satisfyingly. Like, I expected the crown guard to honestly be more in the way. It's really not. Because it's big, it does a lot of like software movement for very little like movement of your finger. So it's not equivalent to how a regular one feels. And the taptics, damn, now of course I know that they have improved the haptics over the years. But over my Series 4, it's a huge difference, and it's incredibly hefty and premium. It is almost a little too heavy for me yet, but that is because I am coming from an aluminum Series 4 44 millimeters. Believe me, I'll get used to it. Yeah, I still would say that I do prefer like the soft like display look, but just the battery difference alone in terms of features is enough to attract me. I wish I could run some benchmark for you guys so that we could like get through potentially like saying, oh, this is like you know, this is like 30% faster. Oh, this is how fast the neural engine actually is. But obviously, I will be setting this up later. But you have to consider, guys, Siri can now run live on a freaking smartwatch, and it just turned on my iPad. Right, and it goes beyond it. Like all those sensors coming together, the fact that every animation is buttery smooth, as long as you consider 60 FPS buttery smooth. Like it goes down from 1 hertz. It goes down to 1 hertz in like it's always on mode, which I probably won't be using. I really love just how brutalist it looks with complete black. Honestly, I have to say that's a rather impressive look. Like I do have another band here, which obviously is not premium by any means anymore. It's like it's just a 3-year-old sports band from the Nike version. So again, the mechanism is still so smooth, so satisfying. Going in with the finger. I have basically no nails and it works completely fine. Putting this in the top. The band by itself is not the smoothest anymore because it has been like pushed in and out a lot as I switch from my leather band to it, and it's the oldest one here. And then I do have another one. I do have a Milanese loop in space black stainless steel, but I don't have it here. As I said, I'm visiting my mom's for like my last long holidays. This looks good. This looks good. I definitely probably would do this look for actually working out, and then for maybe for just walking, I would do the Alpine loop because it is like nice, fabricy, stretchy. I wouldn't really want for it to sweat a lot. I know it's been like optimized for it. I just know that it's not quite the same as plastic that doesn't absorb it at all, like the sports band. And then for finer stuff, I would be wearing this. Do you guys get the feeling that I like blue, right? And then the other thing that I would want to get is what was it called? I think it was called Blue Flame. If we go to my macOS setup, yep, it works nice. Again, yeah, this is what I would get. But obviously in 45 millimeters and ml. So let's see how it looks. Guys, I really like this look, right? Because look, here you get like the orange accents from this. Then you get blue, which is my main color that I dress in, like dark blue, grays and blacks, and then you have like all those like recycled particles that go into this, which give it this really unique look. I was honestly a little disappointed that Apple didn't give their regular sports bands this look, so I would really be interested in getting that for myself. It's currently though pretty back ordered as fuck, unfortunately. But I could get it once I get back to Berlin, so maybe I'll just go to the store, one of two stores, which is actually really nice. So going back to OBS and going back to which one? Scene 3. Yeah, I needed to reacquaint myself a little with it. So yeah, that was basically the unboxing part. Really dig it. I'm kind of like, you know what? I'm putting this on and letting it charge a little, so it's nice and charged for when I actually want to use it. So putting this into my 20-watt charger, and that's about it. Yeah, there isn't that much more to say. I probably will be streaming again this evening. I do want to leave this video a little short so that the algorithm kind of picks up on it being less than an hour, and then I don't need timestamps or anything. I'm really grateful for anybody who like joined. So thank you guys for that. Thank you everyone who like supported me. Thank you everyone who got me to 1.4K subs. Anybody who watches this, as I say, please consider doing all the YouTube jazz, you know, subscribing, liking, sharing. Please consider following me on Twitter. As I said, I do like interacting with you there. And as I noticed and noted before, I have created finally the long promised cheaper Patreon subscription tier. Big shout out to my supporters in the already existing $5 Mark Tech Pro Max tier. I don't want to pronounce anything wrong way. It was Roland and Lucky Meat, exactly. I actually didn't look at anything. I just opened YouTube Studio and then I remembered. It kind of helped with my memory. So if you want to support me in either the cheaper or the more expensive tier, you can do so. This will now be probably going to my mom pretty soon, though probably only after she actually gets my 13 Pro Max, because it doesn't really have much utility to set it up on her 10s Max and then having to redo it all. But I really liked it. It served me well for 5 years. I did not get it with cellular, so I will be like contacting my carrier soon to activate it on my Apple Watch. I might actually wait with activation for cellular stuff until I get my 15 Pro Max, so I just don't have to do this over again. Maybe in the evening I could show you how it actually works, if I have set it up by that point successfully, and I consider going through maybe Tailosive Tech's video recommending you not buy new Apple Watches, and MKBHD's review of the Apple Watch Ultra 2 and the Apple Watch Series 9. So there's a lot of content planned, a lot of variety. I'm also open to suggestions. Thank you again to everyone. Again, a shout out to Carolina and Evelina who have their birthday today, and I cannot wait for you guys to join me in the next stream, or the stream after. Always looking forward to your inputs. This is Mark Tech, tuning out.